Hi everyone. All right, welcome to the space if you're new here, and welcome back if you're returning. Okay, so happy October, or whenever you find this. Happy equinox, happy Halloween. So, although it's a bit Scorpio, we'll get there. So, you're the 8th, and the 9th. I guess we won't, okay, that's not important, the technicality. What's important here is that I'm happy that you're alive. Happiest being alive. Happy birthday if it is your birthday. I'm actually wishing everyone a happy birthday in this time because it's in Libra time, and Libra loves other people so much. It's so important to Libra, right? So your relationships in this time will probably be highlighted, right? Hopefully with the sun being there, you know, this is going to bring optimism into your life, maybe even more love into your life, more love into your heart, right? I did pick a deck of cards that I find quite humorous, and I am in a bit of a mood, like a really good mood, which I feel like I'm fairly contented most of the time. But when I'm actually really contented, I'm super chill. When I'm a little bit giddy, it's like there's a little bit extra of a sparkle. So I'm happy that that energy is in your reading. What was another, there was one more message. Oh, there was like a little song. It was like, how to make things less stressful. How to make things less stressful. Let me figure it out. So you have the Emperor and the Popus, which is the High Priestess. They both arrived. They kind of sat themselves aside. So let's go in order with that. So Emperor is an energy of decisive, conscientious, responsible. He takes action. He has a lot that is under his rulership, right? It's a very masculine energy too, if we're going to take this as Aries, the most masculine actually of all the zodiac. So we have this here, but what's cool is in this deck, he has his eyes closed, almost like this is almost like a Scorpio energy in like a King of Cups and the Emperor mixed together, which is actually really beautiful. He has his shoes off, if you can tell, which is kind of, he's stopping and, you know, sitting down and smelling the flowers, kind of relax. So you want to make sure that after work you kick off your shoes, right? Make sure you're taking a break now and again. Enjoy the little things, right? Maybe even enjoying a little bit of the power you have gained in yourself, or the confidence in who you are now as a person. I also feel like this Emperor is being a bit romantic in a way. He's sort of like, you know, if you think about an Emperor, usually it's like, all right, how do I protect myself? How do I ensure that everyone's safe? How do I make sure that everything is okay with everybody else, right? Emperor energy. Totally always concerned about everyone else. Really, and even though he has a lot of power, he really actually puts himself aside a lot. Oh, let's make a wish. But this, again, is like, you know, remember, it's Libra time, so it's not just about the self. It's not I am this and I am that and da I want kind of thing. It's like, I want to give this to you. I want us, you know, it's a more interpersonal time, right? So remember that. Then we have the Popus, which is usually a card that speaks of intuition. She's holding a scroll that says Eros on it, which is a star that represents sexual energy in a chart, or kind of like really strong intimate energy. So I'm actually seeing her in this deck right now as Vesta. Interesting. So Eris is also a kind of Aries energy too. So I'm not thinking about these readings in a zodiacal sense, because I'm trying to alleviate any kind of... I'm trying to take out like the ultimate definition of it. Well, this is that, because it's going to alleviate judgment. Do you know what I mean? Kind of leave it a little bit more open-ended, but not so loose that it doesn't have any definition. There's still a purpose around it. There's still a place that it's within, and the intention is still the same, but it's leaving a bit more open, right? Let's see what this other card is. Okay, you have 3 majors. Wow. So this is about the Empress, right? If we bring it back down, I see her. So what is Empress about? Empress is the counterpart to the Emperor, right? Maybe he's thinking about his wife, or he's thinking about his partner. Like there's relationships are obviously holding a big deal right now. Like that's a really big thing, right? It's what creates us as humans, our relationships with one another. You know, even monks that don't have an actual physical relationship with other people, that have mostly a relationship with spirit, still have other monks or nuns around them, right? We still need that human interaction. But this is more interpersonal. So Empress is about feeling safe, it is about feeling loved and knowing that you are protected. It is a card of growth. It is a card of nurture. Her showing up in this time also would be good, because it's about feeling confident in that which you have to let go of, right? Say just in the natural way that things are going, and then knowing that spirit will guide you upon your path, right? Like shed a light as you go along. Pisces, so you have Pisces in the 8th house. What is that saying? What is that trying to share with us? What's he looking at? Well, I heard someone say, I'm ready, right? I'm recording this again in Libra time. All cardinal energy is about moving forward, right? It is not, it's not a little whirlwind. It's not stuck. It's always about moving forward. Let's move forward, right? So maybe you want to think about, it's moving forward in the essence of like, okay, like this Emperor, okay, I already handled all the responsibilities of who they are as a person or what they need to do, right? And then from there, then one can relax. So who is it that you can relax around? Who is it when you think about them, you know, let's say in a loving way, right? In a, who is it that helps you to believe in love? You know what I mean? Not, well, it's interesting because this this Pope is looking at her scroll of Eros is like, it has 2 people that are like intertwined. So it's almost like how to connect without losing yourself, I guess. That's helpful. This because you have 2 energies of Pisces here. So you have to, what do you believe? What's your belief systems around love right now? Like, I see. How much do you love yourself? I keep seeing where, you know, on a boat, when you would, okay, you have to bring fresh water on a boat, right? Because you can't drink the ocean. The ocean will kill you, right? In many different ways. It's basically like being upon death, right? It's a scary place. If you're a human, and so you have to bring fresh water upon that. But probably even nowadays, we would take glass and then wrap it. Like I see this piece of glass, like blown glass with these ornate woven like knots all around it, so that if it ever knocked against something or fell, or if there was like a shift in something, that which sustains you, right, the life water, the water you can actually take in, which is good emotion, right, that doesn't shatter. And I suppose each person needs their own too, right? There could be something that's a little bit tied up with your eighth house. Maybe you want to look at that if you know if there's any stars in there, or if there's any stars opposing that place. Maybe you want to just look at that. To me, eighth house is like a mixture of Scorpio and Sagittarius. So it's kind of like what you've learned from your relationship, from your previous partnerships, also marriage, of course. This is also extended family in a way. We have a moon here. To me, it's your biggest life lesson house, right? I just call it the life lesson house, in a simple way. So maybe some of you actually have been working through that space for quite some time. And now it's time, you know, with the Hangman, usually this is Odin. In a sense, that relates to this story where Odin only hung himself there for 9 days, you know, until he could see the runes. You don't sacrifice yourself, like separate yourself for so long that you hide, right? Eighth house is a house of hiding, in a way. And so you want to, it's almost like there's a scent that's reminding someone of something too, or like scent is a memory, right? Someone's remembering something. But it's almost like there's this other character here that's like more in their, so someone's being more emotional when they're usually in their head, and someone who's usually more emotional is now getting in their head. So maybe there just needs to be a conversation, Ace of Swords perhaps, just a conversation to clear something, to be like, hey, this is what's happening, or you know, some kind of togetherness. That'll alleviate some of that stress, okay? Maybe you want to think about, like, for instance, when there's been a problem with you and other people, especially when it's intimate, right? Intimate doesn't have to be sexual, but it can be. It could be your spouse, but this could also be your in-laws, your whatever, like this kind of energy. When there's been an issue, however you dealt with it in the past, just make sure that now you're dealing with it a little bit differently. You know what I mean? Like where you're feeling more confident in and of yourself. Ace of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, right? We're moving forward, right? Because it's so easy, for instance. So there's no swords here until that Ace of Swords came out. So, and there's the Queen of Swords. So perhaps, again, this is a card too where someone is usually in their head, but now they're more in their body. Maybe something opened up in somebody. Honestly, for the Emperor to be in this place, it's really beautiful. Like, he's still so confident, you know. He's never not confident, or at least he never shows that part of him. But this is where he's really come to relax. It's like someone like eased this person. These cards are so funny. Again, yeah, maybe something becomes less... It's not that something becomes less serious in the means that it doesn't matter. It's something that matters a lot that's not being so overly taken over in an overly serious way. Like, oh my God, what does it mean? Or... you know, oh, I can't relax because there's going to be, who's going to attack me, you know, or, you know, High Priestess is usually so alone and silent and doesn't ever, like, interact with other humans. And now she's thinking about, like, wow, when is the last time I don't know, I actually had an orgasm or, like, connected with another person in a way that wasn't thinking about something that was, like, again, she's usually in her head. And now she's more in her feelings. This person is usually more in their head, and now they're more in their feelings. Okay. Judgment. Okay. So remember that... oh, and there's the priest. Good. In the world, there's so many majors here. So this breaks down to the Lovers. Remember, oh, there's the Ace of Cups. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so look. This year, if we're going to take the Gregorian calendar, which most people do, 2022, it breaks down to a 6 that says the Lovers, so they say. So this year had a lot to do with our relationships, how we communicate in our relationships, why we've chosen the friendship, the lover, the spouse of the present, of the past, right? Especially the past, a little bit of, because Gemini's all about wants to learn, right? So it's like learning from your previous choices, learning and being conscientious and aware, like, oh, okay, I have a lot more control over my choices than I think, you know. And it is about, this year was all about choice, right? And in relation to that, love, right? Because you don't want Gemini just to be in your head. You go crazy, right, when you stay in your head too long. It just bounces around and make it into hamburger, you know, like it's not safe to just be in one little section. We have a whole rest of our body to interact with, right, in this life. And so it's like bringing that more down. And maybe part of the reason that some people get stuck in their head is because they're afraid to go into their heart. You know, maybe there's pain in there, or maybe there's no longer pain in there, but there was. And so someone's like, was scared or is scared to go in there. But the thing is seek and you shall find. You know, if you want to find the difficulty, then you will. If you want to find the positive, then you will. And as long as you stay off the path of the wicked, right, as you go along, then you will be blessed. You know what I mean? Actually, I'd like to read that to you. It's in my study last night. I thought it was very interesting. Especially, right, this Libra time. Libra's very giving and loving. Okay, listen. It says, Do not withhold good from those to whom it is due when it is in your power to do it. Right? And I know sometimes it's hard, right? That Judgment card. But there's also this, which comes down later down the path, is do not enter the path of the wicked, and do not walk in the way of evil. Avoid it. Do not go into it. Turn away from it and pass on. For the wicked is like deep darkness, and they do not know over what they stumble. It says, take heed to the path of your feet, then all your ways will be sure, right? Again, there's a lot of Pisces. Maybe this is Pisces reading. There's a lot of Pisces energy here. And I know sometimes when, I don't want to get into the past too much here. That's not really the point, right? It's about finding balance, Libra. So again, do not hold good from those to whom it is due. Hermit. When it is in your power to do it, right? And sometimes we do have to be discerning. But we've all walked in the shadow of darkness, right, at times. But that's not the point of this reading. You know, maybe that's just more of what is sort of trapping a little bit of like moon energy in the 8th house, which is, because the 8th house is the house of longevity, classically. Okay, so don't let that, please try not to let that of the past where the seasons have shifted, right? The seasons may change, but God does not. The seasons may change, but you are still here, right? And so you have an opportunity to feel into some places maybe that you haven't, or maybe you just want to try to allow yourself to remember what was one of the lessons there. How to be, one of the questions of the High Priestess here is how to involve yourself with other people in an intimate way without losing yourself, being whole in yourself first and then combining, right? That's what she wants to know without getting all tangled up. Where you still hold who you are. And you can still be I am, but there's also really powerful, positive, pleasant, peaceful, pleasurable we also in your life. Okay. Interessante. Molto interessante. Yeah, sun. Remember, this time is shedding a light upon our relationships. Sometimes that means, again, as simply as so much love and optimism and positivity, into your life, into your relationship. Sometimes it is going to be being able to have good boundaries, right? And have courage to try something new, and it's good to put that light into your heart, right, in this time. it's like I saw a belt of light. Because you know what, next month will be Scorpio time. And that's really beautiful, because if you can't find the resolve, for instance, in this time, then in Scorpio time, Scorpio will take care of it, you know, like in a soulful way, right? Because it can't just be surface, it has to be real within, right? Down to the last drop. Okay, I love you so much. I hope you have a nice month, a beautiful month. Thank you so much for being a part of this space. I hope this was helpful. I do appreciate all of you so, so very much. It's a pleasure to be able to connect. I feel blessed and unworthy, honestly, both, to be in this place and time. I don't know how this all worked out or why I was born in this time, but I'm grateful. I'm very grateful. And those of you who are still here, I thank you for your time deeply. It's, you know, for wanting to learn and grow in yourselves, and I don't know, again, like, say you're more of a person that's usually in your head, and you finally go get into your heart, right? Or you're a person that's usually like super emotional. You start to find more of the confidence of being able to communicate about that, right? Use that air to communicate in a way that is slightly, you know, like not overwhelming, right? You believe in who you are and how you feel, because it's your feelings, you know, you don't gotta hide them. What's that gonna do? I mean, there's a time and a place, don't get me wrong, right? Saturn's exalted in Libra, so we have to think ahead a little bit, but when it comes to purely love, like, oh my goodness, I love you so much, I just want to tell you that I love you, you know, or wow, you did you know, that job you did last week, that was awesome, I really appreciate your hard work, you know, just sharing that kind of feeling it can't hurt anything, you know. So I wish you the best with all of your relationships. You're the one with you and yourself and others and spirit, of course. Please take care, and I'll talk to you next time. Peace out.